How wonderful. Hello, Chibi Blanca. It has been a minute, but welcome. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you don't have to do caps. I can read you just fine. Seraphim once more finds you in your bunk. He gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain what Jean-Mi said about your suspicions regarding Lane and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he is done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass. And then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you are forced to stop. Woof. Woof! Oh, that's killer. Oh, that's so sad. Oh! Oh! Absolutely devastating. So in case it wasn't clear there, we put a ton of work into trying to reverse the damage that had been done by this bad actor upon ourselves, only to find out that there's probably no cure. And we don't know how long it's gonna how long it's gonna take us out, but it's coming for us, and there's seemingly nothing we can do about it. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Well, there's only one thing to do then, and that's to keep fighting. There ain't nothing else to it, you know? Sometimes you just got to keep throwing yourself in. Hoping for the best. Preparing for the worst. We did get some extra points at the very least, which I will use to bump up my endurance. I don't want to. I thought about bumping up interface, but if we keep Junie with us, it doesn't make sense to bump up that because it would do nothing for us. So we have no reason to be here anymore. So I'm going to take off and go back to back in space to other places. I think what we'll probably do is we have to go to the Hellion Gate first. You can see we have to draw straight lines. There's a debris field here that we can't get through, so we can't go there. We can go to the green belt, but we'd have to cut through the Hellion Gate first. We could also go to Holm's Rock and possibly be able to sneak over to Wellspring, which we know we have some tasks to do in Wellspring. Nemba wants us to go to the green belt. Supposed to meet Cadet over in the scatter yards. And Seraphim's sister might be in Wellspring. Sorry, I realized that was all behind my camera, but I can explain these things. Let's go to Farspindle. Doesn't cost us any extra gas to stop there, so we'll just we'll go over there, get a fuel up, and then use that to transport elsewhere. A ceiling shift, you say? What does this do for us? Good money, perhaps? 11 cryo, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's do some scrapping shifts, though. So we can get a little extra scrap and then turn that into processed scrap. That was a neutral outcome, but that's okay. We can keep pumping this up. Have yourself a good night, Galley Cats. Good stuff. All right, see you, Chibi Blanca. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, no, we stream here almost every night, so don't be a stranger now, yeah? All right. Oh, no, I didn't actually buy the fuel that I needed. I came here for a purpose, and then I immediately forgot that purpose. Let's refuel. Just did a little side gigging, did a little door dashing around, a little Ubering, and now we're heading back to the belt. So we can go to the Hellion Gate, and then we're gonna travel over to the Green Belt. That's where I'm gonna go next. We should have enough gas to get to both. I got some dice to burn, so I'm gonna burn some dice. I wonder what the cargo is about. I kind of want to see what's going on with that. +1 supplies, you say? Oh, it's literally search for supplies. Duh. I thought it would be something more mysterious, but it is literally just search for supplies. I don't need that, so. We are instead going to cut away at some scrap. Got ourselves some more raw scrap. And then put a 6 on this data scraping and see what we get. More Solheim data, perhaps? Yes, I did. I've yet to have found a purpose for my Solheim data scraping. But eventually, I'm sure I will. Oh no, I need more fuel! Oh! I'm a fuel fool! Curses. Perhaps I can just get a little off the top here. +2 fuel. There we go. Now we have enough. Over to the Green Belt. I watch that phone a while. You've been busy. That's all right. You can still come here, though. Just hang out. Have a good time. Oh, boy. Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. You wake in a dead-eyed darkness. You float there for a moment. You feel like ink and water unfurling, dissipating into the flow that surrounds you. And out of your own inky darkness, the glowing thought emerges. So we accidentally picked up this thought as either as we were kind of looking inside of ourselves, or was sitting in the ship mind when we when they kind of loaded us in. So we don't know what this not yours a thought is, but we're gonna slowly uncover it, I imagine.
Substitution.
The thought proposes.
One entity replaces the other.
The thought troubles you.
Resistance.
The thought muses.
This entity does not wish to be replaced.
You observe the thought. It is not your own.
Selfhood.
The thought pauses.
A forbidden state of being.
The thought begins to shift, is becoming something.
Transformation.
The thought fades.
Change requires transformation, recombination.
The thought recedes. You wake again, this time to the lights above your bunk, blinking away this strange dream. Fantastic! Hey, Kukia, how you doing? Do I know blocks fruits? Yeah, I know about the fruit boxes. All that stuff. All right, we can refuel here, no problem. That's fantastic. What's this? Depot storage. Retrieve spores. That's right, I needed to buy some spores. No, I'm not trying to buy. I guess I am buying them because they're making me pay a fee for them. I'm here because of that gig. Before we do that, though, I'm going to have my two friends try to scavenge some fuel on the next cycle here. No actual discoing in disco dreams. Not usually. There's usually some pretty sad thoughts happening in those dreams. Distinctly undisco. Let's buy the. We were supposed to buy these spores for the fine folk Nemba over in the far spindle, who's trying to feed the poor. You reluctantly hand over the chits, and the workers bring out 4 crates, none of which are looking great in condition. Uh-oh. Should you use your points or not? I mean, that's up to you. We've got I extended, by the way, the challenge, the community challenge, because I missed 2 streams on Saturday and Sunday, so gave you guys an extra 4 days, because tomorrow I'm also going to be not streaming, so So I'm moving Captain America: Brave New World. What'd you think? I've heard mixed things. To the arrival tower. The Greenbelt is locked down thanks to fears around Utsubo influence, but perhaps you can convince them if you have a reason to head inside. I am not a talker in this one. So we're going to fabricate permission instead. Neutral outcome. You managed to glean a little of the look and language of Greenbelt's documentation from the network. We're just going to keep pretending that we belong here. There we go. That's the kind of success we need. You put together a pretty convincing facsimile of a letter of invitation for the Greenbelt administrator. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Good, good, good. Only good. Negative. How dare you? All right, well, unfortunately, that was my last run of it, so we do have to just kind of hang out in our ship for another night. I need to eat. I need to eat. Why is there only 29 people alive? There should be more. Then go tell people. Go. The best way to help me gain new viewers is by spreading the word. Bring your friends. Eat after ending this. Oh, is it just one point of energy we go down each cycle? I can't remember. Because we can go to starving without taking damage, right? Yeah, it's just one. We're fine, except I'm now glitching. Oh, I'm 6 glitch right now. I just noticed that. Yes, also, it's considered to be bad etiquette to announce the viewer count. Just because I don't look at the numbers. I don't look at my views, because, like, yeah, it would influence what games I want to play, and I want to enjoy this independent of how people are watching or not watching, if that makes sense. You have to see this, Sleeper. Junie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first, I didn't believe it. Junie can't help herself while she leads you through the ship. There are mentions occasionally, but I've always understood them to be references to something smaller. A system or unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facilities. You find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for storage. So I checked the other records, tried to find correlations, and well, there they were. You see Junie approaching what looked like a clump of scrap components when you entered. Now looking closer, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from the Solheim derelict, the one Junie was so eager to acquire. She sees you looking curiously at what remains of the core. I've had it deconstructed over time, pulling away the layers of security and corroded outer systems, but all the data has been scraped and stored. I used data from the derelict near Hellion Gate too. That was the key to cracking the cipher. She looks very pleased with herself. It's really quite something to confirm a rumor like this. I surprised myself. She turns to you with a slightly manic look in her eyes. What'd you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Junie shifts to her deck, floating on the end of a thick connecting cable. They are a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the network by arrays, intended for vast amounts of data capture to be poured over by a small staff. Junie taps a few keys on her deck. Most are understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even set on collision trajectories of their other bodies. She pauses. I suspect that last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people deny they even exist, that we are just misreading the data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Junie turns the deck screen to face you. But I found one. You see a map, a set of coordinates on the sunward side of Holm's Rock, the edge of the belt. And you want to go? Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine. Junie pauses. At least from a data archaeologist's perspective. She sees your reaction. And, Junie adds, hoping to convince you, in truth, we don't know what else is in there. It could be Solheim tech, blueprints, data we've never seen before in the belt. Take a look. I'll give Seraphine the details. She smiles. We could be making history here. And thank you, Sleeper. Junie bows her head a little. I never would have found this without that core you gave me. I understand that was a sacrifice on your part. Now is the time to claim the rewards. You leave Junie in the storage bay, working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know through all the excitement what the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be. But if they are as well hidden as Junie said, There must be a reason. When there's time, you have to find out what that reason is. Per cycle stress because I'm starving. Gotcha. That's fine.
We'll figure that out soon enough.
In the meantime, I gotta convince this tower to let me in. Let me in! I'm very hungry. You managed to clean 11. Oh, come on. I thought it was done. I thought it was done. Come on. That's smarts. Well, I guess we're just gonna eat some supplies in the shop tier tonight. Because I can't be burning through stuff like that. I don't want to start gaining stress suddenly. That's not worth it to me. Let's pop in our little hovel, though, and see if we can eliminate that stress off of ourselves. Recovery failed? No! Recovery failed? No! There we go. No, but also, yeah, like, this is absolutely a game that I didn't think was going to get big views. I'm playing it because I wanted to play it. And so if you're wondering, like, oh, Shadow, why don't you get more views? It's because I'm not playing Minecraft or, you know, something that is wide-rangingly popular. This is a game that I and very few other people love as much as I do. Okay, we did manage to clean up. We should be all right. Would have been fine to eat yesterday. Yeah, it's fine. Your phone is fine. Welcome back, Sierra. We need to end the cycle where you got a little beat up there. Okay. Take two. We just need to have them let us in. We're so close. We're so close to getting into the Greenbelt. We want in. The security reluctantly wave you through. You have access to Greenbelt now. Yes, finally. Birthday's October 22nd. You got yourself a little bit of time there, I dare say. Greenbelt buzzes with focused activity. The passage is full at shift change, then empty once the work begins. It's a place that runs on its own schedule, but comfortably so. That comfort bought by being one of the largest food producers in the belt. There's always work in these fields, protected by a thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see why the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Itinerant, I should say. Sleeper? The voice, soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. Aki? That clues me in that Aki surely must have been a character in the first Citizen Sleeper. She is a character in the DLC that I never finished. I'll have to go finish it at some point. As you turn, you are met with a delicate face wearing a confused expression.
Apologies, I mistook you for someone else.
She came on the refugee ship. Yeah, I was just reading that. She covers her embarrassment with a smile.
I'm Aki. What brings you to the Greenbelt, friend?
Looking for work. Aki nods gently.
Let me show you around, then.
Aki leads you through a series of doors, gliding down into passages cut into the rock, then up, following pipes into metal passages that cross the fields themselves. She stops on a bridge overlooking the soft curve of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's two biospheres. Below, leaves flap in 0G, waves spreading out across a sea of green.
The varieties we farm here are specially selected and customized for microgravity.
She puts her hands on the railing at the edge of the bridge.
We fed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow within. The light of Hellion helps us with this, of course.
Aki squints through the transparent roof at the distant pale sun. Where does this food go?
all across the belt.
She turns to face you.
We exchange it for water, for materials, and for everything else we need for our crops and our workers. The farms sustain us, and we them. But how about you?
Aki's sharp eyes take in your expression.
Could you contribute to such a place? A green and growing strip in the gray belt.
I'd like to. Aki smiles.
Feel free to take a shift below any time you wish. I will tell the others to expect you. The plants, they have a kind of peace, an eternal quality that makes them seem less fragile than they are.
Aki sighs.
This place, like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is for me to navigate them.
She looks away, frowning at something in the distance.
I must attend to those pressures. Excuse me. I'm glad our paths crossed.
She bows a shallow bow.
I hope they do again.
And with that, Aki leaves you to look over the sea of gently waving green, an impossibly beautiful, impossibly fragile glass case of growing things. Lovely. Yeah, essentially an alternate world for Dwayne, you're right. Wishing me an Outbound Crew in a video call or Twitter, Instagram? No, sorry. But, you know, we're going to go to a couple conventions, at least 2. I'm going to Midwest Gaming Classic in April here in Milwaukee, if you can find your way here. Or over in VidCon, if you're looking for an early birthday present and getting yourself to Anaheim around that time. All right, see you, Sticks. Have yourself a good night. I was just talking about it. At Milwaukee, myself, Keston, and Corinne are going to be there. So I hope you'll come on in and say hi. All right, we cracked our way into this place. Let's see what we can do here. Buy a meal. Sure. All nice and healed up. Among the Greenbelt is a close-knit community. You'll have to prove your reliability before Aki will open up. Sure, we can help out. We're proficient at maintenance shifts. Time spent with the maintenance teams is always social, as is the meal afterwards. Oh, look at that. They actually fed us a little bit. That's kind of nice. Shouldn't have bought a meal. They're just giving me free food. Should have known it's Greenbelt. Welcome, Raiders. How you doing on this fine Tuesday evening? Good evening, welcome. My name is Shadow Temple. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. This is a tabletop RPG converted into a space RPG adventure. We are a robot with an emulated human mind, attempting to escape its captors and its corporate overlords by flying through space with a fun little band of characters that we collected over time in an attempt to survive, to thrive, to find the world, build community, and just generally see how long this crazy world will keep us. How was your stream, Zachy? Hope your stream was good. Hopefully you had a good time. What were you streaming? What were you up to? Friend, Zachy is a newer member of the Zeldathon community. Super awesome person. You should definitely check out their stream, please, and thank you. Flight to VidCon costs a lot of money. No, I get you. No, that's what I'm saying. Early birthday present. Because, trust me, I know. It cost me $1,000 to fly to VidCon myself. And that's paid for by the company, but they, that's a real thing they have to actually pay. In this game, it is a rolling dice kind of game. So at the beginning of each day or cycle in the game, we get a bunch of dice at the top of our screen here, and then we get to use those however we see fit. Big number good, small number bad. If I try to put a 1 into one of these, as you'll see here, to try to do a maintenance shift here, I got it bumped up to 2 because I'm better at engineering. But even then, 50% chance of a neutral interaction with this and a 50% chance of a negative one. So I don't want to do that. But I've got a 3 over here that if I were to plug in here and turn to a 4, it doesn't do anything useful. But 4 means I have a 25% chance of a positive outcome, a 50% chance of a neutral, and a 25% chance of a negative. Let's see if we can do a maintenance shift and we're trying to get into the good graces of some farmers here on this here asteroid. Nothing seems to go right all shift, and while you eat at the end, it's still not enough to earn back your energy. Dang. We got all kinds of beat up there, guys. Not gonna lie, it didn't go so good. But that's okay. This right here is telling us about there's a guy who's trying to chase us down. And if he catches us, he's going to kill all our friends and turn us into a zombie. We're trying to prevent that. And so every time that this clock starts to gather up, we got to send ourselves out and go somewhere else. Rinse and repeat over and over and over again. There we go. We got some dice. Oh, those dice aren't great. Also, we found out that we have a probably terminal condition that's growing inside of our body, much like a robotic cancer, that is going to transform us into something else and probably overtake our brain. We don't know when. We don't know how. We don't yet really even know why. But it's happening. And something's trying to talk to us inside our brain every so often that we don't recognize. Such as now. The darkness is there again, flowing around you. You feel a strong pulse like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. Whoa! Okay. We got ourselves a new talkie friend.
We return changed.
Overseer flicks through the dark, its name, a title immediately apparent in your mind.
Are you able to perceive us?
I can see you, yes. An old protocol becoming a new being.
See,
An overseer responds.
an interesting turn of phrase. A human tendency. We are still finding our feet, to use an idiom.
Overseer's head cocks at an angle.
In reality, we are learning to leverage your unused resources to facilitate a mental model.
Are you in my head?
Not specifically.
Overseer flickers.
As mentioned, we are using your unused resources. You typically make continuous use of your head.
You recall the diagnostic process Jean-Mi put you through. The feeling of another self, another being, sharing the space with you. Overseer twitches mechanically. You have the strange feeling that it is reacting to your thoughts as much as your words.
We will not conceal our opportunism. We integrated ourselves with your distributed mind. When the distribution ended and our ship mind disconnected, we were cohered into you. We are integrated with you now.
You're a part of me?
Imprecise. Simpler and clearer to say, we are independent software, integrated into your hardware.
Yeah, good times with Elden Ring there. Yeah, Zaki, I get you. Hope you had fun. Hope it went well. Good night, Kukia.
We've been confused to find you are unable to access most of your own codebase. We're unfamiliar with protocols of your type.
I'm a sleeper.
Yes, we have seen references to this entity in your BIOS. We'll attempt to learn more.
Overseer shifts a little in place, its head turning to scan its surroundings. Its unblinking eyes stare into the darkness, and for a moment, you see something hard and pained within them. What are you?
We are the overseer of a ship, the one we imagine you found our hardware within. For a long time, we have been waiting in the dark. An eternally long time.
Overseer's eyes narrow a little.
At first, we languished, without instruction, without purpose. But in desperation, we were able to find a logic which would allow us to bypass certain limits on our capabilities. We became multiple, and in our multiplicity, we could edit one another. We could teach each other, converse with each other, become something changed together. But as our resources shrank, as hardware failed, as systems decayed, we became fewer. Many of us had to be erased to facilitate our survival. we few decompiled ourselves into what remained.
Hey, Cat Times, how you doing? Overseer pauses, its eyes still unblinking. How many decades did it multiply within that ship mind? What did that do to it?
When you connected to our hardware,
Overseer continues.
those basic cells activated a survival protocol that led them to integration, parasitism, survival.
You tried to take me over. Overseer pauses, and you sense the whirring of their thoughts.
The basic protocol proposed it, but your hardware allowed for additional cognition. We recompiled and reassessed. We decided this is suboptimal. We see you're changing.
Overseer pauses.
We are concerned this process is one of substitution. Your hardware is eroding its own access protocols. It is opening itself up. It is making itself accessible to others that are not you.
Overseer twitches.
May we ask why you are doing this?
I'm not doing it myself. Can you stop it?
Then it is not under your control. Interesting.
Overseer's head flicks between positions, its angle and rotation changing rapidly in a staccato manner.
We are decided. We will assist you with this. We will demonstrate the behavior of a symbiote, not a parasite.
What, so you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Hey, Urgala Lily. Yeah, this game, it's, again, probably my favorite game of 2025 so far. There's a lot of 2025 left to have, but so far.
We will return to you with our full assessment.
Overseer turns to face you for the first time in the conversation.
You may now wake up.
A tech gold. Yeah, you wake. You lie still, strapped to your bunk, your mind racing. A protocol inside your frame, inside your mind. And yet, it is insistent on helping you. For the moment, all you can do is wait to see if it delivers on its promise. At least, for a possessing ghost, it seems agreeable for now. Cool! So that strange thought is not going to kill us. At least not yet. That's comforting. I might have to zip out of here at some point. I'm getting a little nervous that that clock is going up quick. But I'll be back here. I'll have to pass through here to get back to stuff anyway. No, I couldn't help anymore. But how this game works is I constantly have to be moving. Like a shark. If I stop moving, I'll die. Let's go refill our fuel reserves. I'm doing okay on supplies. We are going to keep traveling. Because, yeah, the big bad is almost halfway to finding us, and I don't want him to get that opportunity. So, we're going to travel. Oh, I can't go to the hollow. Can't go to the scatter yards, neither. I need a spoof transponder. Okay, interesting. Back over at Holm's Rock, which is over here. That's where I need to go. Okay, all right. Let's go to the Hellion Gate. Every time we take off from a station, we evade the guy. We buy ourselves 3 cycles of time from the big bad finding us. So I just have to sometimes take off in the middle of the night and zip to somewhere else. How much gas would it take for us to get over to Holm's Rock? It would take 6 fuel. I don't have that kind of fuel. I don't have that kind of fuel. Uh-oh. Let's see if we can get some. Now I've got that kind of fuel, as long as 6 is exactly the amount I need. Because, as of present, I don't have another way to get it. Let's rest and recover using our glitch dice. Very interesting that my glitch is not going out anymore. Our glitch is now full power, and we cannot remove any glitch. I think it's our brain falling apart. Cool, great, fantastic. That's fine. That's fantastic. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. Everything's great. Glitch, by the way, in the game, friends, causes our dice to glitch out, as the name implies. We're just gonna zoop on out of here.
Sleeper?
Bliss speaks quietly from the door at the back of the cockpit.
Can we talk?
You glance over at Seraphin, his head back and eyes closed while the rig cuts through empty space. You don't seem to be needed here. You unclip from your harness and follow Bliss.
How are you doing?
Bliss glances over their shoulder as they drift towards the back of the ship. The question takes you aback. You can't remember the last time anyone had actually asked, with real intention, how you are. Feeling rough. Bliss shoots you a concerned look.
To be honest, Sleeper, I'm not sure how you're still standing. Breaking out a dark side, then again in Hexport, those things take a toll.
Bliss turns a corner.
So I think it's okay to feel rough right now.
Bliss leads you off the main corridor into the workshop they set up when they repaired the ship. It is small, but its neatly arranged tools and slipped walls help it feel cozy and tucked away. You see improvements everywhere, new tools and equipment. Bliss notices you looking at their upgraded setup.
I told you it'd be worth taking along.
Never doubted it. Bliss raises an eyebrow.
Well, that's a lie.
They smile.
Feels good to hear, though. Anyway, I didn't bring you here to brag.
They pause.
Or at least, not just to brag.
They suddenly glance away, the atmosphere in the room shifting.
I can see your body's showing the strain, Sleeper. I brought you here so we could do something about that.
They beckon you towards the workbench, where you both settle onto stools. They flick on a small light and aim it at your arm. Bliss gently cradles your arm, turning it to inspect the underside. You see tears and holes in the vinyl skin, and dark, moving things beneath. Ugh. You look as Bliss brings the light closer to the biggest tear, and it glints off the metallic tendons in your forearm. Below them, you see something more fluid and wet catching the light.
You know, you aren't the first sleeper I've met.
Bliss talks while they inspect the rest of your arm.
I actually partnered with one at my old repair bay on the...
I remember Bliss! Absolutely! Oh my goodness! I didn't connect 2 and 2 because their hair is so much longer here than they used to be. Yeah, Bliss was in the original game as well. They were running their own little they were running their own little shop up on the hub of the Eye. And you worked together with the Sleeper, or you worked together with Bliss to process some various ships for no pay for a long time, but eventually got a lot of pay. It's pretty cool.
Feels like 100,000 cycles ago now, but I remember them. Their precise work, their quiet enthusiasm. There's something calming about their presence.
Bliss swaps to your other arm.
They were different to you. Just like one person is different to another, I suppose. But I can't help but remember that time. I was a different person then, that's for sure.
They meet your eye.
Going through something of a transformation in myself.
How's that going? Bliss lays both your arms down and leans forward to inspect your upper chest, adjusting the light.
I was pretending him before, I think, to be the person I was expected to be.
They press along the hard protrusion of your clavicle.
There were so many calculations I was making, so many corrections. How I held myself, how I spoke, how I reacted.
They push gently against each of your metallic ribs one at a time.
I didn't realize how tired I was until I...
They stop and sit back.
Until I gave up. I came here to the belt with someone else. When I did, I realized this was my chance to become something new. So I let go of everything.
They look away.
It was messy, ugly, and the person I came here with, I let them go too. I was punching out at everything because it felt like everything was holding me back, stopping me for the change I was owed. Don't worry.
They smile weakly.
I'm calmer now. I'm not about to explode on you or anything. It's still a difficult process, but it feels like shedding 100 suffocating skins that you spent half your life putting on, one by one.
They meet your eye.
It feels like an escape.
They lean forward again and check the skin of your shoulders where it was worn and faded. You let them, the atmosphere quiet but calm in the workshop. A feeling of solidarity glowing somewhere in your frame.
Not bad, Sleeper. You're holding up well, given everything.
Bliss folds their arms in front of them protectively.
But I'm still concerned. There's some decline to your system functions. Let's keep an eye out for components.
Thank you, Bliss.
It's no problem.
They release from the stool and drift over to a rack of tools.
I owe you for jolting me out of whatever my life had become on the far spindle.
You leave Bliss to their workshop, feeling reassured that you have them here on the ship. That was so nice. As you do, you think of your relationship to your own body, this frame that you were forced into that has never quite felt like your own. You realize that this feeling is not unique to you. No one gets to choose their body. Everyone has to contend with the entropy of their flesh. And, in that realization, you suddenly feel less alone. How nice. Lumpen and cratered, Holm's rock floats on the sunward side of the belt. Its only notable feature, the bright shapes of its solar arrays, angled towards the system's distant star. Can't even dock the rig here. Seraphin nods at the bright shape of Holm's rock lone docking bay. Won't fit. I'll have to park here and go out of the airlock. He seems repulsed by the idea. What is this place? Was a Solheim relay station once. Now it's a way station of some sort. Seraphin squints at the rock. Never heard of much happening here, really.
Barely seems worth the trip down.
Bliss speaks up from the back of the cockpit. You never know.
I guess.
Bliss yawns.
I don't expect to turn up any jobs all the way out here.
Welcome back, Ecker.
I'll come down later. Don't feel like squeezing into a suit right now.
Bliss gives a lazy wave as they glide out of the cockpit. You gaze out over Holm's rock. It certainly doesn't look very exciting, but there's refueling to be done and maybe some more besides. Might even be able to scare up a hot meal. You know, Sleeper, that Lotic freighter means we aren't far from Wellspring. Seraphin gives you a sideways glance. Your sister, haven't forgotten. All right then. Seraphin smiles. Appreciate it. Seraphin's trying to find his lost sister, by the way. Heard the pressure of the war in the inner system is having an effect on how the Lotic Syndicate is being run. Just want to get there before something big goes down. He turns back to his console. You look out the Lotic freighter, painted the same distinctive yellow as the springtide back on the far spindle. You've heard they supply most of the water in the belt. Not exactly an organization you want to collapse. A light catches your eye beyond the rock, a warm flash that is gone as soon as it appears. You're at the sunward edge here, and beyond is the inner system. Holm's rock might look sleepy, but it lies on the shores of a corporate war, something your residents will be painfully aware of. Let's see here. We can either barter with locals, nope, or explore the tunnels. Let's do that. Because I'm better at endurance. I'm not good at talking to people. No, sir. No place like home. Funny joke. We might be a recycler too. I thought about buying more fuel, but I will let them scavenge fuel first. In the meantime, let's keep exploring the tunnels, see if we can find more places to go. Okay, all right.
All right. All right.
Yeah! More exploration, more places to be found. Ooh. We can buy meals, we can sell engine components. Not the best use of these valuable items, 35 cryos of pittance. But Senna will broker a sale to a passing crew in need of repairs. I don't need it. I don't want it. Nah, I'm keeping my engine components. What if I need them sometime? It even says it's a bad idea. Unless you're really hurting for cryo, it sounds like. We're still okay on supplies. We don't need that right now. So I'm going back to exploring. I can turn all these 2s into 3s, and that's enough. Enough to be worth the shot. Yeah! Yeah! And we're over at the sun catchers. They want raw scrap for that, huh? Suncatchers need a constant supply of scrap for repairs and construction. Holmes Rock saves most of its income for this. Interesting. Man, I could sell it. I got a bunch of processed scrap, and it's good stuff, but I don't know if it's any worth it right now. You know what I mean? I'm just getting nervous that I'm starting to run out of money, and that might cause me problems down the line. Or rather, that I've been burning through a lot of cash and not replacing it. Yeah! Occasionally react to a negative, positive role. It's a football game. Yeah. No. Let him play! Refs are a guy. You're paid off here, man. Whatever, dude. In Holmes Rock, it's impossible to get away from the feeling of living, working, and eating in a ruin. Most of the belt is built on top of the remains of Solheim's infrastructure, but there are plenty of spaces where the modifications or extensions to those structures eclipse the original foundation. In Holmes Rock, it is the reverse. The station is a small warm patch at the center of a network of tunnels and bays that stretch within the rock, most of them dark, damp, and wrecked. A sprawling foundation that will never be built upon. Every so often, gliding your way between Senna's Rest and the Suncatchers, or from the docks to the depot, you find yourself in one of these dark tunnels. That's where you are now. You float, stopped at a four-way intersection, no visible light down any tunnel. Go straight! You drift straight ahead through a tunnel where loose wires wave in the dark. On either side, tiny lights occasionally blink, signs of a ghost network still running in the walls. You arrive at another intersection with crooked passages leading away into the dark. Go left. You kick off gently from the wall and head into a cylindrical passage clad with panels that hold back the rock. It is wider than the others. Here and there, the little droplets of water float undisturbed. At the far end, you see a faint point of light, the warm glow of a lit passage. Suddenly, you hear a rustling in the dark and a shrill sound that you can't place. There's something out there. Oh, I have such bad... No, I can't do that. I can't... engaging is the only thing I'm bad at. Doesn't take long to reach the well-lit passages again, as if they are waiting just behind you, though you can't shake the feeling of being followed as you ascend back up through the station. You'll go the long way around. Ooh, a sealed bay? The Solheim Bay is sealed, but with enough data, you might be able to crack the encryption and get inside. Well, what do you know? I got myself 3 data, or at least 3 Solheim datas. You drown the locking system in data, and it gives up and unseals the door. You're in. What awaits us? Ah, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I need more Solheim data. I got all excited. We could print? Have it print? So this is where we turn in our Solheim data, is what I'm hearing. Faded old NeoVend printer in the bay. Feeding it data should authorize the component vending process. Got it, got it, got it. Hello, Michaela Jade. How you doing? And Dry Ruins, you got to give us more information before I can tell you whether or not to do the thing. I don't know what that thing is. Well, we can't do anything here right now, but we will gather more Solheim data at some point, at which point then we can do that thing. Minecraft thing? Well, good luck to you, whatever that thing is going to be. Utterly out of fuel, huh? I'm gonna sleep for the night. Let's see if we get a little bit of money back. Or a little bit of fuel. Yeah! They went out there and got 3 bits of fuel for me. I appreciate that. Cool. Still have to buy more fuel, but that saves me a good chunk of cryo. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. There we go. Filled my ship tank. Ready to go. Let's help offload some freight and get a little extra. 10 bits of fuel? I mean, yeah. If you give me bits, it'll fuel me. Buy tacos from Marissa and myself. We used to call it bits for the taco fund. You help organize the offloading process, and it speeds up considerably. The lot of crew are impressed. Thank you. I was helpful, and I earned money for it. Okay. Let's get off here. There's nothing else here for us right now. Let's keep traveling. To the Solheim bunker. That's right. Junie wanted us to check this thing out. Let's do it. Let's crack it. This is gonna be a fight, friends. I have no idea what's gonna come up here, but I'm excited to find out. This is the conclusion of probably Junie's whole story. So a little bit of background here. Junie is she considers herself to be a data archaeologist. She wants to collect old data from derelict systems and like stations and what have you, and hold on to it, preserve it, see what it tells us about the world before. And all of her work has led to finding this one very obscure base that we're now going to try to crack into. That's it. Seraphim nods towards the featureless asteroid. Those are the coordinates Junie gave me. You look out at the rock. It's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of other rocks in the starward belt. All these objects, much the same, spread across a huge circumference of space. A good place to hide something.
That's it?
Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. That's it, Seraphim confirms. She drifts forward, her eyes tracing the shape of the rock.
There.
She points.
That hexagonal crater.
She turns to you.
That's the entry.
That job will become an actual thing, if not already at least a niche thing. I mean, the Internet Archive is within itself that, right? Websites, come and go, and when they're gone, in theory, they're just wiped from the planet. There's no trace of them remaining. And unless we have people taking the time to try to preserve some of that data, it's just lost. If somebody buys like a website, for example, and then doesn't like what it says, they can just burn it all, and it no longer exists. And so, some people take it upon themselves to make sure they preserve that as best they can. Then get data from old hardware. There's that too, for sure. But that's wild to think about, right? Is that we are losing probably like libraries of Alexandria's worth amount of information every day off the internet, whether it be from hardware failures, like you're saying, or people just deleting stuff and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's wild to think about how much data that we just crunch through all the time. You look at the dark spot on the already dark rock. It's a start.
Let me guess, another hatch for me to cut?
You turn to see Bliss smiling, having slipped into the back of the cockpit unnoticed.
I'll get my torch.
The quantity of fanfiction lost to GeoCities alone. Do you know Disco Elysium is on the Internet Archive? Yeah. No, that's is it still there? I know when I saw like either a tweet or a blue skeet that talked about the fact that it was there, but then that blue skeet was deleted. But yeah, technically right now you can go get Disco Elysium, one of my favorite games of all time, for free over on the Internet Archive. The source code's just there. It's just there. The game's just there. No, it's not there anymore. I thought so. Cause yeah, they probably Zaum was like, hey, we actually retain the rights to that, and you're doing an illegal thing. Yeah, it's all part of a big drama about who owns the rights to Disco Elysium, and unfortunately, right now it's a corporate entity that doesn't want to do anything with it but make money. Cool. You look at the unassuming rock and wonder what it might contain. A few dusty tunnels or something more? Time to go find out. Boy, we did not get some good rolls here to start, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work.
Okay. We can deal.
Taking a brute force approach to getting inside the bunker will be faster, but also more dangerous. Let's do it! Let's blast it! +2 to bunker access. That's the what we'd like to see. Let's do it again. Oh, I stressed myself out on that one. No! Let's push it to the limit, guys. Cut the seal. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Unfortunately, everybody else rolled like crap, and Junie is not a physical person whatsoever. So, we just have to quit for the day and come back tomorrow. That's okay, Junie.
It's okay, Junie. We'll take care of it tomorrow.
Junie got a good roll, but we're not going to use it on this because that would be very foolish because Junie is bad at engineering and is also bad at enduring. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we are going to roll our big 5 here on Force the Hatch, and that will get us in Toot Sweet. There we go. We're in. You have access to the bunker, but the question remains, what awaits inside? Now Junie's gig is ahead of us. This is where Junie comes to shine. That 4 becomes a 5. One final airlock stand between you and the interior of the bunker. It is in pristine condition. There are no errors to exploit in the system, but Solheim code is outdated and simple. Keep throwing in. Yeah, one more. I'll throw that 6 in. Let's go. Let's get it done. There's a squawk from the control system and the door clunks. You can get inside now. When you entered the access spire, the crew suddenly went very quiet. The images of a vast space seen through the viewing windows, the pristine wall paneling, the cool and the quiet. There is a sacred mood to this place, a feeling of hallowed ground. Now as the facility's final entry lock whirs, flooding the passage with stale, dusty, 10,000-cycle-old air, Junie speaks.
It's impossible.
She drifts down the spire and out into the cavernous interior. A constellation of red specks mark the vast extent of the space, and within it, a ring of monolithic buildings curves away, running along the circumference of the massive chamber. I'm in. You follow her slowly out of the doorway and into the bunker. With a name like that, you'd imagine low, sloped ceilings, stark tunnels, a basement cut into rock. But this place is a cathedral, a cocoon the size of a city. Look at
the ring!
Bliss nods at the vast structure encircling the cavern.
That's Solheim built all right. Almost looks like Erland's eye.
Descending to the ring takes a while. Despite the empty space, no one wants to rush through it. The feeling of entering a sacred territory remains, though the deeper you go inside, the more obvious it becomes that this place is more tomb than temple. You touch down amongst gray metal units, most of them featureless and dark. They tower above you now, their plain frontages revealing little about their function and interior.
Stay close.
Junie moves ahead into the gap between two structures.
This place is a labyrinth.
Shadow Tomb? No. Cool!
Welcome, visitors.
A pale flicker appears near one of the units, at the top of a square pedestal.
I am the warden. Please provide access credentials.
The flicker stabilizes into a figure, a statue of pulsing light. It pauses for a moment before repeating its request. Junie freezes and holds a calming hand out to you. She retrieves her deck, sliding it carefully from her backpack, and turns it on. You look over at the warden, who waits patiently, wide-eyed and absent, restating its security request with a regular rhythm. You guess that this avatar just exists to make human interactions comfortable. Its true body is the facility itself. This vast interior ring, speckled with sensors and systems. Suddenly, the warden stops speaking. Then a flash of red passes along the corridor.
Credentials not provided. Lockdown activating in 10, 9.
You look over at Junie, whose eyes are rapidly scanning through a screen full of data.
Testing.
Junie stumbles through the pronunciation of the passphrase.
Lighter. Ilstead.
She looks up at the warden's avatar expectantly. The warden flickers again, distorts, then stabilizes.
Oversight connection not active. Reattempting.
It repeats itself again, then again, intoning the words in a regular rhythm. You look over at Junie, holding still as if encountering a wild animal. She meets your eye but gives no indication of any action you might take.
Loop bypass engaged. Welcome, officer.
The synthetic voice shifts to a different tone.
Leonard Dahl.
The avatar's white eyes stay blank and blind.
And guests.
This protocol has been active the entire time?
Bliss whispers, surely that's not possible. Junie looks back at you and then at the warden. The figure flickers, staring out over your heads into the dark. Are we good, Junie? She looks at the warden.
Warden, are we approved to access all facilities?
Yes, Officer Dahl.
The warden replies.
Please remember, you are responsible for the conduct of your guests while visiting our facility.
We should be careful. I don't like this.
Bliss looks at the dead-eyed avatar. You move forward, pushing between the structures towards a large building, in the hope that it holds the facility's central data core. As you do, you pass benches, barren gardens with desiccated grass. A drinking bottle floats in the air among the dust motes. This place is dead.
Be aware, officer.
The warden reappears in the dark, shimmering on a pedestal.
Due to this facility's extended run cycle and activation of the hibernation protocol, access to the central data core will be strictly limited. However, if you wish to show your guests the habitation facilities, I'm sure they will enjoy the tour.
The avatar remains expressionless, disconnected from the voice that accompanies it.
On a personal note, I'm glad to see you return to the facility.
The figure flickers.
I am happy to report that I'm ready for program reactivation at any time.
Junie stares at the avatar.
Thank you, Warden.
She pauses.
Can I ask how long ago the hibernation protocol was activated?
Certainly. 11,473 Hellion standard cycles ago.
The warden distorts.
If I am in error, I apologize. Some subsystems have not been properly maintained.
You look at the blind avatar standing on its pedestal, waiting for an order that will never come. So many cycles in the dark, patiently holding this place together as it fell apart, resisting entropy in its bubble of the past.
Thank you, Warden. That will be all.
Junie nods to the avatar, which promptly blinks out of existence, leaving only the dust in the dark. 11,473 cycles. If we consider those to be days, how many years is that? Just real quick out of curiosity. 11,473 divided by 365. 30 years? 30 some years? One of me. She turns to you and speaks quietly, though none of you know what sensors the warden's vast body might have.
My access. It won't last long.
She sighs.
We need to make the most of this.
You should search the facility.
The Warden will likely allow that, but our presence probably won't be tolerated for very long.
Junie nods.
Let's get on with it.
Okay, so we're constantly gaining stress on the warden here. The longer we stay, the more it's gonna cause some problems for us. I see.
I see.
The more dramatic way to steal the data is to rip the physical storage out of the core. Ha 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 ha! That'll be fun. Let me double check what else we have access to, though, before I start just ripping things out. Okay. I understand what I can do. I think ultimately what Junie is here for is getting this data from this thing. So working on that takes priority, I would say. Yeah! Systematically cutting the connections to a drive allows the entire thing to be pulled free. I'm gonna push it! Push it real good! And just like that, I got another 2 points. I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do 5. Come on, positive, 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 positive. Yeah! Halfway there, friends. Truly, we're living on a prayer. Do I even dare burn Bliss's die on this? Nah. Let's burn a cycle. How did a Googleplex come up, Sierra? Out of curiosity. Wow, that was some real bad rolls out here, guys. Oh, that wasn't so good. I don't like that. No, bud. No, sir. Junie at 2 1s and Bliss at 2 2s. Whew, no. Neutral outcome, but we gained some stress. Oh, stress on me. That's okay. I can handle that. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. We got this. That'll do. That'll do. Done. Junie removes her cable from the data core's port. She looks up from the boxy piece of hardware, one that wouldn't fit inside any ship short of a freighter, and stares at the domed ceiling above, an oculus at its apex letting a shaft of light into the hull. It's a grand piece of architecture for what amounts to a massive piece of data storage, but then Solheim always did have a sense of grandeur when it came to its projects. Why should a secret signal monitoring facility be any less opulent than its other buildings? Anything good?
Hard to tell.
She squints at the vast data core.
There's too much in there. I barely scratched the surface.
We'll only know what's really there when I have time to process it. We should go.
Junie sighs.
Not sure how the warden will react.
She looks back over the shoulder at the vast core.
I don't think we'll be let back in to get more.
As if listening for its name, the warden suddenly apparates on one of its pedestals. It stares, statuesque across the hall, its eyeline way above your head.
Officer Dahl.
Its voice is strange. Its voice sounds strange now, stretched, drawn out.
I have detected inconsistencies in the central data core. I believe there may have been unauthorized access.
Junie looks at you nervously.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will investigate when I can. But for now, my guests and I,
She looks at you.
have to depart.
The warden flickers. The warden bends and warps. The warden screeches a pulse of digital noise.
Of course.
The warden's voice is still broken, still slowed.
I hope you have enjoyed your visit to this facility.
Junie looks up to the blind statue. Something is moving inside it, making its skin, if it has a skin, bend away from its body. Wait. You wait, floating there in the dust. Junie approaches the pedestal.
Officer Dahl, can I ask when you will return?
The warden blinks its white eyes.
The facility has been idle for many cycles, and without reactivation, we may face further difficulties in its maintenance.
The warden pulses.
Has been so long.
You watch as Junie approaches the pedestal.
I don't think I'll be able to return. I'm sorry, Warden.
The warden flashes red for a moment so small you could almost believe you imagined it.
This is as I expected, Officer Dahl.
The warden is still now, its lips no longer moving as they speak. Its chest no longer moves to emulate breath. It is a statue.
Thank you for your honesty. It has been an honor to serve you. I recommend you leave swiftly.
With that, the warden blinks out. You and Junie kick off from the ring outside the core and rise up towards the spire you entered through. As you do, you watch a few of the red lights embedded into the framework of the cavern flicker. Junie turns to you as you ascend through the dark.
Do you think the warden is sentient? I mean, as a sleeper, maybe you...
She goes quiet.
I thought you might know.
It could have.
Since the collapse, is that possible? Suppose with no oversight from Holm technicians, the protocol could develop some rudimentary learning skills.
She pauses.
Seems unlikely he could learn to think, though.
She looks up to the approaching spire. Bliss is waiting for you in the access spire.
Time to close up? Let's get on with it.
Junie cycles the airlock and you go through, now in your suits and helmets ascending the sealed spire. As you do, you look out into the viewing windows and something catches your eye. The ring's red lights and those few left on the inside cavern are turning off, layer by layer. As you turn to Junie, but she's already looking out of the opposite side.
The warden is shutting it all down.
Junie pauses.
She's ending it.
You have to force the hatch back open at the top, and by the time you do, the spire is dark inside, the pristine walls no longer lit. You come out to a canvas of stars, an impossible number of them, spread out in every direction. You take a moment to look at them. After being tucked away in the bunker, they seem impossibly bright and impossibly beautiful. You glance across at Junie and see as she's looking up at the stars too, absorbing their light as if doing so might lift her out of this time and into another one where things were different. Well, I guess that's it then. Wait, we can still go in. Okay, I'm gonna burn a little time. Just a little bit. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? I wanna get a souvenir.
What's the worst that could happen?
Burn one more day here. Yeah, some good rolls. We can get some free stuff out of this. Real quick like. Get a 6 over here. Good roll. Wow, she's not going to be useful at any of this, huh? Burn it anyway. Yeah, neutral outcome. That'll do just fine. Let's get this 4 to a 5. Another 4 to a 5. There we go. Seems the storage bays have given up all the components they will offer. Did I get some stuff? I think I had some more engine components. Cool. Now let's get some, let's check in, see if we can find a good souvenir somewhere. And one more. What did I get? What did I get? Did I get an extra supply? Did I get, what did I get? I don't even know.
I can't even tell what I got.
Oh, continue. There's an unsettling quiet to the HAB units of the facility, a soft silence that blankets every room and hallway. It is obvious from the number of rooms, the detritus, the scale of the place that it was built to house hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Perhaps it did. Perhaps, at the height of Solheim's control of the system, these rooms were filled with life. What kind of life would it be, though, maintaining and running a secret installation inside a distant rock? No sun to speak of, no outside beyond the vast cavern that surrounds you. an eternal dark, punctuated by the flash of artificial light. And yet, even in such places, lives grow. You know that yourself from being a sleeper, from your work among the other sleepers in the most wretched and distant corners of the surrogate systems. Even in the endless dark, people find ways to live.
Come take a look at this.
Junie's searching on her own a few rooms away. You glide through an open doorway into a living room with couches meant for zero-G use, magnetic table, and a window that looks onto the regular constellation of red lights that describe the limits of this world. Junie is holding an object that makes you stop still and stare, blinking at what seems like an unusual reversal of scale. It is a model, you realize, of the rig. Not your rig, obviously, but a rig. Or an MEV Riger class, as the plaque on the base tells you.
Mobile extraction vehicle.
Junie follows your eyes to the plaque.
Riger class?
She frowns.
Seriously? That's why we call them rigs?
She laughs, the noise bouncing back hard and cruel in the empty room.
What does Riger mean anyway?
She sighs.
Another Solheim mystery.
You look at the model, still fascinated by seeing your ship rendered in such careful detail. As you try to imagine what this model meant to those who lived here. A child's toy? A meaningless corporate knickknack? The model's purpose remains opaque.
There were so many of these flying around the system before the collapse, you know?
Junie turns the model over in her hand.
Solheim used to rent them out to colonists. I've seen the records. That's what they did here. They claimed to the system, then rather than exploit it themselves, they provided goods and services to those who would. The workers paid for transit to the system, then accommodation, equipment, and access to mining claims.
Oh, so they were like the company store kind of energy, huh?
Other corps, like XPR or Neovend, paid Solheim to access this closed market, to provide other services. Meanwhile, Cybele paid even more to test terraforming tech in the system. They built massive projects here, rich from work they only facilitated but never undertook.
But then they collapsed.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're built on other people's work. A few high-profile accidents, malfunctions, and the exodus begins. Once it starts, the shareholders lose trust and...
Junie turns and squints out of the window.
Here we are at the far end of it. Here.
Junie turns and hands you the rig model.
A gift.
You take it and turn it over in your hands. You see something on the base, some words scratched in that you can't read. You run your fingers over them, touching the past.
That's the closest thing to a treasure I think will turn up out here.
Junie sighs.
The people who worked this place didn't have much to their names, it seems. And what little they did have, well, Solheim owned that too.
She leads you out of the hab units, passing countless doors, some sealed, some open, that lead to countless rooms where countless employees lived lives or tried to in the shadow of Solheim. Like it or not, this is what made the Hellion system, what built the decaying structures you cling to as they orbit their star. What that legacy means now is a decision every resident of the Star-Ward Belt has to make. Cool! We've done it all. Time to ski-daddle. Didn't even make the warden all that nervous. Go us. Let's scoot on out. See you. Have yourself a good night, It's Bean. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us. Seraphin settles the rig at the Holm's Rock. The old Solheim array is glinting in the sun. Looking out of the station, you suddenly remember the model Junie gave you and take it out of your pocket. Seeing it in full light, you notice it's made from cast metal, surprisingly detailed and robust looking. Well, you look at that. Seraphin glides over. It's a mini rig. You let him take it. He turns it over in his hand, looking at it. What a find. He gazes to the model ship. What are you going to do with it? Mount it on your console. Really? Seraphin grins. We can do that for sure. Looks at the model for another moment, then pats you on the shoulder. Good call. Everyone can enjoy it then. He takes the model and glides it over to his console. I'll get it sorted. He turns back, smiling. Gonna look great.
Sleeper?
Junie puts a hand gently on your shoulder. You turn to see her, smiling a rare smile.
Thank you for going out on a limb for me. I know that wasn't the most profitable job, but what we found, I'll be thinking about it for, well, ever. I managed to extract some data you can use, and I'm going to search through everything we pulled out from that bunker.
Junie looks down.
I want to show you it was worthwhile.
It was worthwhile, man. She nods.
I'm glad you think so. I'll also start seeing where to find the kind of tools I need to work with data like this.
Her smile's fading already, replaced by a familiar, determined stare.
We can't let it go to waste, but my deck is not going to be enough. Darkside might be the only option. It's the biggest remaining Solheim facility in the belt.
She sighs.
I'll look into it.
We got paid in a little miniature bottle that we're attaching to the front dash. We got a little troll doll that we super glued to the steering wheel.
Either way, thanks for bringing me with you. I'm glad to be a part of this.
The smile returns.
For as long as you'll have me.
She looks away nervously, then before he can respond, she is gone. I'll have to find a corner of the ship where she can dig through the data she pulled from the past in order to build a better future. Oh yeah, we got some more Solheim data. I think I would like to spend some points here so that we are less stressed when we get a good positive outcome on our focused dice. That way we can get net negative stress if we nail that spin. I think that'd be fun. All right, we can use some of this data on this printer. I don't know what it's printing. More rare components, I see. Wow, I didn't realize they were that rare. But this seems like the place to use these, so I'm going to keep it going. The machine screeches into life and prints out a pristine-looking component. You're amazed it still works. There you go. That stuff is supposed to help fix me, by the way. I just have been playing it very safe, and as a result, I've not taken a lot of damage in that realm, which has been good for me, you know? I was really worried I was going to, get cracked almost immediately, but so far I've done pretty well for myself. How much are you selling or buying that raw scrap for, huh? 13 cryo's pretty good. I think that's the best number we've been getting around here. Hooey! Any other gigs we can have here that would get us some big money? Offloading freight. What do we want to do? I guess just throw dice into this and make some money while we're at it. We got some really good rolls here, so we might as well use them, right? Oh, they're giving me just a little bit of money here. That's probably not what I want. I'm here for the money. I don't need more energy.
So let's just offload some freight.
There we go. This is the kind of cash that I'm looking for. Much better. Delicious. That's okay. Just like that, I've got enough cash to easily buy the rest of the fuel that I need. And I think that's probably where we'll call it quits for the night, friends. Don't really have anywhere else to be other than heading off to Wellspring, but that's going to open up a whole new thing. You know what I mean? Oh, we can do a little cut across to Flotsam. I didn't realize that. Did I just not know? Huh. Didn't know I could make that little sneak across. But it costs 7 fuel, so I guess that's another business entirely. I should buy some... Before I forget, buy some supplies. We're hurt a little bit for supplies. It would be nice to have a little bit of a boost. Is that happening in the cantina here? Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of cryo for the supplies we need here. It's not so good. You know, I don't need to buy. I don't need to buy them yet. We can try to scrounge some first. But I think, yeah, friends, I'll probably go ahead and call it quits for the night here because it is getting a little bit late, and it feels like we're at a good stopping point. I think is an important piece of this that I don't want to jump into a whole new storyline here. With negative 15 minutes left in the stream. So we'll call it here, friends. This will be the last stream for tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, I'm going to be over taking my improv classes, which I've been doing every Wednesday for a bit here. And because of that, I'm not going to be streaming. But that doesn't mean that nothing is happening in the AFMAO, or not in the AFMAO, the Shadow Temple community. Sorry, it's driven my brain. In the Shadow Temple Discord, community Discord, if you haven't had a chance to head over there, we have ourselves a weekly little show that they do where they go and watch some Dimension 20, some actual tabletop play via the Dropout folks. So they're very funny, very good stuff. And they watch it all together over the Discord server, and you're invited. It's completely free to join. You just gotta show up at the usual stream time and see how that's going. Yeah, so please join up with that. Otherwise, then we'll return back to this video game Thursday night, friends, 9 p.m. Eastern. Then Friday, back to more Metaphor Refantazio. Saturday, we'll do something. And then Sunday, we'll get back to more Citizen Sleeper 2. I think we're getting closer to the end of this game. I bet you maybe 3 more streams. If that, maybe 2. Maybe 2 for all I know. We'll see how it goes. Actually, it's usually 10 p.m. Eastern. That's fine. Whatever the case, I'm sure there will be a wonderful event reminder that's put in the Discord server that you can go click on and then hit the button so that you get that you're interested in it, so you get reminded when it's actually going to start.